seen Blade Runner?
Okay, welcome back to Ben Silver's Screentime. Today, we're doing the 2000 British coming-of-age drama, Billy Elliot. Yeah, released in 2000, directed by Stephen Daldry and written by some other cunt. And it's set in County Durham in the northeast of England during the mid 80s during the miners' strike. The film's about a working class boy who has a passion for ballet, and his father objects based on negative stereotypes of male ballet dancers. So, lads,
yes,
what did we think of Billy Elliot? You've watched it as a child. You wanted to be a dancer as a child.
You watched it in the perspective of a child.
That made you dance as a child.
You did.
I did do ballet. I remember watching it going, I don't know what's wrong with it.
But ballet? I'm doing it.
Yes, you bloody will do.
I need a ballet. I'm going robbing the post office. I need a ballet. Right,
the fuck's Wayne Sleep?
Yeah. Do you know who Wayne Sleep is?
He's an athlete, isn't
he? Wasn't he a dancer?
He was some sort of. Was he a dancer?
We'll have to look that up because.
Because the little girl brings it up first, doesn't she?
Yes. Right. But anyway, right.
Yeah. Start from the. Beginning.
So, yeah, I watched it. This is the first time that I've watched it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I remember it being a big because my grandma's from the northeast.
Oh yes.
In England.
She loves it.
Geordie woman. Bless her. She's lost her marbles now. No, she's doing well. Anyway, she's doing well for a woman with 2 marbles. So they're all from that end of the, they're from the northeast.
That end of that spectrum.
Yeah. So I remember them buzzing off it, being like, Ben, watch this. You could be like this.
Right. Yeah.
And it was funny because like in that. He has a nan as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's lost the marbles.
In a pork pie.
Yeah.
He's like, Nana!
She's like a house nan, isn't she?
She's like a Charlie in the Chocolate Factory kind of grandparent.
Yeah.
Stuck in the house.
Just wants to
but
see
it's
a
like,
grandson.
Anyway, so I actually avoided watching it because obviously I was averse to anything that my family was into at the time.
Right,
because I was like, I like fucking Tupac, bitch. Show me a film with Tupac in it. So I avoided watching it for years, and I'm aware that it's a
cultural.
Kind of. I wouldn't say seminal, but like it's like a very highly praised British film.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, I found it bleak as fuck.
Right, so you put that in the group being like, it's a bit bleak this. Mm-hmm. So I was going into it expecting it to be bleak. I was like, my feeling throughout it, I remember watching it as a kid and being like, and I remember being, the last scene stuck in my head a lot as a kid. And I remember watching it and like,
which last scene?
Where he's older and he's like,
oh yeah, he's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like the main guy, isn't he?
Yeah, and we'll get to that bit.
We'll get to
that bit. But that stuck in my head as a kid, and then I remember being like, as a kid thinking like, right, so he is gay. I just remember thinking that, and I'm like, this is a film about a little gay boy who wants to dance, and then he gets to dance as a kid, and then this time watching it, it was like, oh, it's about like stereotypes and stuff, and then there's this like side story with the miners' strikes and all that stuff, which to me plays like an episode of EastEnders. Like there's a lot of scenes where I'm like, that's shocking, corny and shocking. And it was hard to, even Julie Walters' accent is like, it's all over the place. And Jamie Bell, Billy Elliot, he's the only one from that place. Everyone else is from different places.
Okay.
So he's the only one doing the accent right. And because he's like a dancer as a kid and he's
it?
Yeah. So he's like dancing from 6 years old. Yeah.
Also, isn't his brother not Geordie? No, is he not far from there? Because he does.
Oh, really?
I don't know. He does seem to have that.
Oh, his brother, right? Apparently, in the trivia, it said like he's the only one.
It's just he's probably the next one because his dad's obviously fucking Scottish.
Yeah, exactly. But his brother, I did not like his. Like, I didn't believe anything. His brother was so bad.
Yeah,
it was
so annoying.
Bad. If you watch it, awful that.
Like I do like it in the sense of like. Oh, go on.
No, I was about to say, I went on Wikipedia through the film and I thought, right, I want to see what this guy's done since.
Yeah.
Ultimate Force.
No, I don't know whether was he in that?
He was in Ultimate
That
Force.
was a TV show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I looked and he's not even got his name's not even in blue on Wikipedia.
Oh,
Muppet, mate.
So that
Wow.
was the sort of film he did, and then went fuck.
Yeah, so he's not even got a Wikipedia.
Right.
No, I feel tight saying this because obviously he's an actor, and
He's lost his
I'm a
marbles as
performer.
well. Yeah.
I've done that. I've
been
acted like a little gimp on screen.
And you've not got a blue Wikipedia link?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the call from Jimmy Wales, who's the CEO of
Johnny Wiki.
Wikipedia.
Michaelpedia.
But I've given money to Wikipedia. Do you know that? I donated $5.
Why?
Oh yeah,
What,
when they give you that thing.
Randomly?
Just randomly.
Well, still do it now.
I saw the thumbnail to a YouTube video. I didn't watch a YouTube video, but I saw a thumbnail that says that whole thing is a scam.
Oh really?
And that they do have money.
Yeah, of course they have money.
Because they've
just
bleeded you dry.
yeah, of course they got money.
That's $5.
Like £60 a year
I'm
off me.
squatting in this apartment.
And you've still not got the blue bloody check. That's what you paid for.
But anyway, right, so back to Belly Elliot.
Yeah.
So fucking I've got some hella notes.
Right.
For
So
Billy.
it starts off obviously with it's
dancing montage.
Yeah, and it's T-Rex playing from the beginning.
Yeah, a lot of T-Rex.
Yeah, there's a
lot
lot
of
of
T-Rex. Yeah. And he's bouncing on the bed, just like the highest jump anyone's ever. It's the springiest
Can I
bed.
say that the shot, the actual shots and stuff, and it does look at times quite beautiful. Sometimes.
Yes, it's shot quite well at times.
Yeah,
There's some shots that are very much
Certain
like soap
angles.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But also, what is good is the color. They've got the color going on. They've got the color going on. Blues that are like really
Technical,
tastefully. Yeah, technically, yes. But then also the look of the 80s, like the bathroom at one point when the dad's in the bath, which is a weird bit. But
T-Rex comes on again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that was my grandma's bathroom as a kid. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like spot on English. Like you've seen certain places and you're like, this is so like they've shot even though like the choice of time of day with certain shots and stuff and the way the sky looks and shit like that.
Like the back alleys and stuff.
Yeah.
All the shots where it's going up.
Well, they're all. I did read on Wikipedia that they're all like they were just like normal terrace gaffs.
Yeah.
That later were like condemned like a few years later.
Okay.
They got knocked down.
Right.
But yeah, so yeah, first 5 minutes, he's hyperactive kid, bouncing on his bed or whatever he's doing, and then he goes to boxing. And what's weird is that he squares up. He's like having a fight with this lad, and this lad's got a Fred Perry T-shirt on.
Oh yeah,
you see that?
No, I didn't notice that.
He's got like a proper like Fred Perry button up, like it's sick. It's like
it's like 2000,
yeah. But it's weird. Well, it's set in the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's like fucking, he's got that on, and I'm like, that's interesting. He's having a fight in Fred Perry shirt.
In a boxing ring.
Yeah. That's tennis, you idiots.
I've had a fight in a Fred Perry top.
Have you? But you've had a fight in every brand. You've had a fight in Chanel number 5. No.
In the shop.
Yeah.
I was trying on clothes and
House
someone
of
kicked
Fraser,
off.
So yeah. Anyway, and then right, they're having a fucking battle, right?
Bouncing off the ropes and that.
Yeah. He's like dancing around.
And then the boxing coach is saying to him, I think Billy's kind of like he's frozen a little bit.
Yeah.
And the boxing coach goes to him. He stands him up. He goes, "You're like a fanny in a fit."
Yeah, it's like a fanny in a fit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I switched the subtitles on. I was like, right. So did he say fanny? Right. So what does that mean? Like, so you're like, I didn't know whether that meant he was really still. Because like a fanny, because it's built in, isn't it? If a woman's fitting like that, it's gonna be still.
Yeah, maybe.
Whereas, but then I thought maybe it doesn't mean that. He means that like it's shaking about.
Yeah, like it's just been shagged good, and it's just going or maybe it's
Oh,
queefing.
so you thought it was like an orgasmic vagina?
Well, that's one way of putting it. Or is it like you're a bloody fanny and it looks like you're having a fit? Like calling someone a fanny
you look
and
like
the
a fanny
fanny
in
is
a
on
fit.
the
just
like that guy's a fanny, and then look at him on the floor fitting.
Oh right, I thought it was like a bigger metaphor about like
vaginas.
No, just because like they say you're like a something in the wind.
Right.
You're like a fart in the wind, which means that it just gets off. Whereas you're like a fanny in a fit. And I thought that meant like that. Yeah, it was like that he was standing still.
Maybe. All right. Okay.
So I was like, but straight away I was like, all right, mate, fucking fanny. There's lots.
I can tell you're analysing it at this point. You're like,
from the
giving
off,
him a lot of credit.
I'm like, fuck you, grandma. This is a shit film. But yeah, so yeah. And so he's fighting, he says that mad shit, and there's a lot of like the word fanny gets used quite a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of abuse towards him, I think.
Well,
off everyone,
literally
off everyone of his family, and even the.
That's why I couldn't handle it, because I felt like it was like fucking. You couldn't. There was not one conversation that didn't end in "You're a bastard." Piss off.
Yeah, it was just like chaotic, like that sort of council estate vibe where everything ends in argument, and like even like the first 5 minutes, like that boxing teacher's like, like
giving him
shit in a pad, and then you've got his dad when he's playing the piano. He's like slams it down. Then there's a point where he's led in bed, Billy, and he just goes, "What's his brother called again?"
Oh, Tony.
Tony goes, "Tony, you ever think about death?" And he goes, "Fuck off!"
Yeah, just fuck off.
And it's just so really like as if he's, and even when he's like led in bed, going to bed, he's got his earphones on. He goes like, "You been playing with my fucking music," and like slaps him over the head, and it's like. Yeah, that like maybe I watched that and gone, fucking hell, I've seen that.
Right.
Like growing up and stuff. Like
interesting.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's just like, he's done like nothing wrong, this kid. And you also don't really get to know about what happened to the mum, really.
True, yeah.
You don't really know the backstory of like, did she leave? Did she die? Like, she obviously died, sorry, but it's like, did she leave and then die, or did she die there? Or because everyone's just kind of miserable, aren't they?
Yeah, I suppose with stuff like that, when they start a film, we've noticed it with a few films where they're like, accept that this is a story. Whereas I think if there was 10 minutes, like what was it recently? We did a film where there was like a romance that just didn't make sense that it happened, and it's like as if a scene has been taken out.
Oh yeah, Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah. Whereas this as well, it almost seems like you're just supposed to be like, he's like an Oliver Twist character. It's like, oh, he's down on his luck. No one's on his side. Oh, how brutal is the 80s? Everyone's angry. Whereas I feel like it's hard to like, you then can't sympathize with any of the other characters. You're like, stop being so mean to this kid. Do you know what I mean? Immediately like,
definitely like it's like even Julie Walters. He sat with her in the car and she's been like, "Do you want me to take you to Royal Ballet School?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then for some reason it escalates into him going, "Why don't you fuck off?" And she's like,
"Yeah, because
you fuck
piss
off.
your life away. It's fine by me."
Yeah, and
whatever.
and also he goes, "There's lots of weird pedo shit in it."
Yeah,
yes.
Even like with the teacher, like the boxing teacher, goes like, "Yeah, Miss Stones has got her class at the bottom of the gym." So, and he says something to the kids where I just
no hanky panky.
Yeah, he's like, "No hanky panky," like, and it's like. Nowadays, that got said like, hell, like.
Well, yeah, and also like the little girl who, I don't know.
Do you want to see me fanny?
Yeah, like, says, "Do you want to see my fanny?" And like, it's like, all right, fair enough. That probably does happen among 11-year-olds or whatever. But for the writer to be like sat at his desk being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get the 11-year-old to say, show me your fanny."
It's a weird scene is when they're in the room together, and it's like, because I remember being like, "Oh, I didn't remember this like straight subplot. Is this gonna be like?" Oh, he doesn't want it.
Yeah.
And it shows, like, it reinforces this thing. But I don't actually think, at the end, it's like, by the way, I'll just get to this quick. I don't think I'm still like, he's probably not gay. Is he or not?
Yeah, because he's got that mate, hasn't he?
Who is gay, yeah. And I'm like, is it supposed, we'll probably get to that.
We'll get to that guy.
It's like somewhere, I think he's supposed to be being like, wondering what he's like. In a weird way that an 11-year-old boy, you're like, why is it such a... Anyway, but I think that they make you question this, because that scene with that girl, they're in the bedroom and they're talking and stuff, and she does this like move that like a 16-year-old or older would do, where she's like, and then she like touches his hair like that, and you're watching it and you're like, okay, fair enough. But then they like have the pillow fight, the fellas go over, and then she's over the top of him, and I'm watching it with my girlfriend, and she's like, he's what? He's over her, yeah. And she's like touching his face and stuff. And it just, that shot was on for a bit too long, where you just feel a bit like, ugh.
It was a bit awkward.
Can we move on now?
Like, are they gonna kiss or whatever?
Yeah, and I'm like,
obviously, I give you a lift, and it's just like a bit awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, because you're like watching it and you're going, if they were older or they were like 18-year-olds playing 15-year-olds, you just kind of accept it. But because you're like, oh, they're kids. Yeah, like 11, it's weird that they've put this weird romantic subplot thing in it. Like, is it necessary to give 11-year-old kids like this weird? It is odd, isn't it?
Yeah, and so I felt like, it was just a bit like, like I said, just so bleak in terms of like British. I don't know, like it's part of like a bit of a tradition of like British. They call it like a kitchen sink drama, don't they? Which was like I think that was like a movement from like the 50s or whatever about like showing like real working class like dramas in cinema and stuff like that. And to be honest, I've never really liked it just because I feel like so fucking bleak, man.
Yeah,
like
it's like it's either. It seems like the scale often that they do when they make these kind of shows on films is it's either Downton Abbey posh or it's like that Monty Python sketch where they're like, my dad did it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's so like every one of them where it's like these are the working class. It's like, oh, we've got it hard. Like it's always like
on strike.
Immediately it like the film opens and it's like it's bleak for these people. And I think when you're from, I know that it's the 80s and it's different, but I think when you're from the north and you're watching something that's kind of representing, I know it's northeast, but just a part of England, you're watching it being like, it's not, I know it's bleak, but it's like, it's hard
it just made them look so stupid and provincial and, you know what I mean? Like, just you know, because like you said, like the brother, such like, you know, he's going sick, like, at this job and, you know, being like, oh, the miners, you know, we're striking, like scab, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, when the bus keeps going past and it's like, that's their like.
And he like when the dad finally breaks, and that's such a annoying scene, like because he gets on the bus and like.
And his son sees him,
and then he fucking like runs, like, cause it's like, but you live with him. Why don't you speak to him when you get home?
He runs through all the place and he goes, give us a budge. Gets over like this fence and everything. He's like.
Well, he even climbs up on top of the railing on the bus, being like, Dad, like, as if he's going somewhere. It's
exactly.
Like, he'll be at home at 6.
You just see him and then go, I'm going to talk to him about that.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then fucking, and then all of a sudden he's in the yard where, like, surely there's security. If they're not, you know, if there's that much security, like, but anyway. But yeah, so that was annoying. And I felt like, that just the general, like, thing. It's interesting because there's a moment in it where Julie Walters, his husband, who's a alky drinker.
It's the guy who pisses himself.
Exactly.
He pisses himself. They sleep in separate beds, man.
And so basically he you know, like he says something that which I've always thought about the mining thing is that like economically the mines weren't. I mean, it's not about that, I suppose. This film, they're not going to make a film like precisely about why the mines closed. But
but go on.
I don't know, just like economic, like they're all going sick and stuff, and it's like, well, why are you going that sick over a job that's like?
Well, no, I generally said this, right? So I've been watching a lot of stuff like History of England, the North-South Divide videos and stuff, and one of them was about Thatcher, and this is like such a simple way of putting it, I know, but it was something that was going out. Like out of date anyway. Yeah. And it's like their issue, I suppose, it's like you're ripping this from underneath us straight away. You can't just do this. We still need to do the mines. And apparently it was like they were exporting it from other countries and stuff. Yeah. So there is all that in it. But yeah, it is like then I suppose what the issue with the film is they're just going, look, they riot. There's no there's no conversation about it about like they're not like making a comment on Thatcherist Britain. They're just kind of just going,
Just an angry film, innit?
Yeah.
Like, so much anger.
This is it. There's just so much like anger knocking about, and it fails to show any of the charm of the working.
Yeah.
I think so, the only closest we get from it is probably Julie Walters and the kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Emotion, if you like. Like. I think Billy Elliot's dad gets emotional sometimes.
True, he like lightens up at the end.
Like Christmas, like he's just sat there and he just goes, like just.
Yeah, that's bleak.
That is bleak.
Right, they sat there right at Christmas, fucking burning. What are they burning? They burning
the piano.
The piano.
He smashed it.
He
smashed the piano. He's like, "Do you think she'll mind?" He goes, "She's dead, Billy." It's like fucking hell.
So yeah, they think of that, and he's like pours himself a whiskey. He's like, "Merry Christmas," then he just starts going.
And Billy's just going,
fucking hell.
And it's fucking
so bleak.
But I'm like, mate, this is not 1902. This is 1980. This is the mid-80s.
Yeah, like you've got a house, like, do you know what I mean? You've got.
Also, the thing is that like I was like, oh, you're all crying about like what four of yous living in like one like house. It's like. That's what the normal house share is.
Where I live now has 4 people in. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mate, I don't know whether he's crying about, the wife.
He's crying about the wife, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe just like, oh, it was so much better when the mum was a.
Go out and get another girl, man.
Yeah, it's like
you're a sexy Scottish bald man.
What about Julie when she comes around? It's like, get back to me. fine.
Yeah. A husband
Not
pisses
in that
himself.
voice.
Yeah, it's like they're sleeping in separate beds. You won't even know you've gone
Yeah, exactly.
to the gaff. You know what I mean?
I suppose what they could have done for say if they would have thrown something like this in, like at the Christmas scene, like they have a street party because all these like miners are all like, let's get together and celebrate. But it's just them in the house, and it's just another one. Like the writers are like, what about this scene? They're like, no, more sadder, bleaker, like that. Yeah.
And obviously, like people will say, well, they made it dead sad so that you really wanted Billy to escape from this world, which is fair enough. But in terms of like watching it as a film for like entertainment or the way that it made me feel, it just made me feel really depressed and sad.
Yeah, there's other films that do that where you're like, oh, this guy's down on his luck or whatever. But there's elements of like throughout the film, there's like moments where you're like, oh, that's good, innit? But even the moment, like, there's a lot of stuff with, he's like, oh, I might be doing an audition. He's like, you probably won't. And there's no, like, you actually are watching it going like, will he maybe not? Yeah. Like, like, there's some films you're like, well, he probably will because it's the film, innit? But in this film, I'm like, maybe he won't.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
He misses one, doesn't he? He
Yeah,
does miss an audition where, like, again, like, it's just frustration. Even though, like, it's a good, like, if you found out that your 11-year-old son was like, he missed a massive audition, you'd be like, what? Where?
Yeah.
Like, but they're just like, oh, do you know what's been happening with us lot? Like, I've been in a fucking cell all night and all this. It's like, oh, you're not even asked about this kid trying to, like, you know what I mean, get out.
It's interesting because I thought that it would end like just when he gets the audition, he gets in, and I thought that it ended there. I didn't realise there was the last scene of him because I was about to like proper shit on it, being like, I googled it. Only 2% of ballet dancers become professional. Like any trained ballet dancer.
Right. So then you're like, there's not even a chance that he would.
So basically, they fucked his life up, right? Because he would have gone and got a trade, right? But got with that bird, that little girl, whatever, right? You know what I mean? Like, she would have grown up maybe to be fit. Julie Walters is fit. Why wouldn't apple fall far from a tree? Yeah,
apple fall.
Even though his dad pisses himself, she would still be.
She'll be fit, but with urine all down her legs. But still,
some people like that.
Billy would like that.
It's Durham.
So I was about to say that, but he does make it as like this, like brilliant ballet dancer,
he's in,
like the best school, and he's like, Billy, your family here.
Yeah, that witch as well. Like that would never happen.
Yeah.
No one would ever come. Like, imagine we're doing an open spot like for like you're doing like a spot for some masculine, and someone like one of the sound guys come over. Your family's here, and you're like, how do you know? How do you know that? That's weird.
I think like don't the dad just go like, we tell him Billy's family's here. Like the guy, the usher's probably like, who's Billy?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
not going,
one of the ballet
he's
dancers.
The star of the show, innit?
Yeah.
And he's going to tell his family, like.
Imagine like fucking the usher goes up to like another guy who works like another usher who's called Billy. He's
popcorn, like.
Billy, your family's
yeah. Billy, can you stop pouring that popcorn? Your family's here.
Yeah, it'd be funny if like the guy that gets that told to, he comes out, and then you realise Billy's in the background, like, what the fuck? And that's how the film ends. Like, he told the wrong guy.
I think doesn't his dad pretty much, I don't know, like, indicates that he's got Alzheimer's or something as well.
Oh, really?
No, something at the end of the film because he's dead. Like, obviously, like he's older.
He's
now,
older.
He's dead slow, innit?
Yeah, but and he's also like, I don't know if he's got like white face paint on. Pretty much.
It's pretty shit.
And I don't know if it's just
older in that film.
They were like, be old, and he's just going, oh.
And he's just like thinking because he's going, Dad, hurry up! Like trying to get to the thing, and he's just going, just looking in the distance, like, surely your son's like going to be thinking he's just outside the venue going, it's good sky, that, innit?
Yeah.
He's not really interested.
So things that I did like about it, I liked it when Billy Elliot's breakdancing in his dad's face, basically.
He kind of just goes, oh, fuck this, like.
So he's like, his dad. This is like a pivotal scene in it, which is quite. It's so, it's so camp, but not camp in a gay way, but just like kind of like in a musical way.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of like in terms of like, so he comes, his dad comes in, he's looking at him, you think he's gonna go sick,
just like hit him,
hit him, and then he just starts going.
Yeah,
which,
imagine doing that to any reaction.
But then he starts doing like kung fu almost in his face, being like,
yeah.
And he just stood there and he's going, just watch him, and then he ends up just walking out anyway.
He ends up just walking out, and you're like, oh my god,
go home, son.
He hates it. He can't think of another dance to do back. He's lost the battle.
Yeah.
He's lost the dance.
That's why the dancer got you. He was
Yeah.
like, I've always wanted to be in a dance battle.
Yeah.
What one funny thing he said about like them knowing him and going over and like your family's here. That's the same as when it shows him like, come on, you can be part of this, Billy, and he starts dancing and that. There keeps being bits where she keeps going over, like giving him tips constantly. And I remember being like, is he the only kid there? Like, what about all these girls who?
Yeah, they're all
like,
pissing around going.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
They keep laughing and she's going, Billy, come over here.
Yeah, and there's one bit where he's doing something, and then one of the girls, like as I just said it, one of the girls goes, "Can we have a go, miss?" Like that, and I was like, "Yeah, let those kids have a go."
Yeah, like let them prove themselves as well.
Yeah, I suppose
Yeah.
it's supposed to show like, oh, he's the prodigy, he's the one.
He's the his dad calls him
yeah.
a genius at one point.
Exactly. Yeah,
Could
yeah.
be a fucking genius for all we know.
So,
He's the
but
next
they should
Gene
have
Kelly,
a.
innit?
So I like that. I liked the scene where he's like dancing so much. He's like dancing into walls and stuff.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
like going
Town
sick.
called Malice, and he's playing in it, and he's booting
Yeah,
up, like
and he's
boots
just
open
going
the
like he's just
toilet
like
door.
dancing into
Yeah,
walls.
He's
yeah.
on top of the thing, and
That little
he's
roof.
through the window going.
Yeah, that was
Like,
good.
turn
He's doing some
around.
great dancing there, to be fair.
Yeah, no, the dancing was decent, and you know, I've seen better, but you know,
From an 11-year-old boy.
yeah, that's true. I've seen a lot of 11-year-old boys, and none of them could dance like that boy. But yeah,
Jamie Bell.
but yeah, fucking, and I liked. There was one scene which was probably the best shot in the film, is him. He's kind of coming up a hill, and it's just like the blue sea.
Blue of the sea with a little boat going
Oh,
past.
it's like his
Yeah.
head and
and then
like,
it's kind of like in the alleyway. It's like the alley. It's framed like the alleyway, but you can see.
His dad later, when his dad's changed his tune and he's like running back and he's like, Billy. He does it. He runs at the same shot.
Oh, does
Is that when he goes
Yeah.
to tell the miners that he's done it?
Yeah.
He got in.
Yeah,
did
that's
it!
the one.
He fucking did it!
Yeah.
We're going back in, Tony.
Yeah, true. And again, like there's
Like,
so
not
many
that,
scenes.
yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
there's a
Just
moment.
negativity at the end
Yeah,
of each scene. Like,
even one like before I forget it, while we're talking about these kind of ones, there's the bit where he's like picking him up in a weird way to say goodbye to him. Billy's like just
Yeah, he,
floating
like,
off the
lifts him
ground
up.
like this,
Yeah.
and he hugs him, and then he's like, "Go on," and then his brother's like, "Oh," there," and then he gets on the bus and he can't see him, and then he does the whole like, and then he does that, and then he goes, "I'm gonna miss you," and he goes, "What?"
yeah, it's like
What?
the
Like
one
that.
time, like the one time he's like saying something like nice. He's like, "I'll miss you." He's like, "What?" He's like, "I'll miss you," and he's just
Yeah.
like, "Why can't it?" Like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna run to the back of the bus."
Yeah, and he
hear him."
runs to the back of the bus. But if he would have just gone like, "I think he misses me," or he would have just been like, "I know," or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he's like, "What did you say?"
I've
Like,
never heard
can't-
you say anything but "fuck off." You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
exactly.
Like,
It's just a bleak like answer to every like possible.
it took him to like the end of the film to just fucking say, "Oh, my brother, innit?"
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like support him.
So obviously he goes down to London, yeah, and he goes to the audition, does well in the audition. Like you think that he's gonna fuck it up at first, and then you're like, oh, you know. Well, I thought in the film they're gonna make him fuck it up, then he's gonna come
Right.
back in. And
Yeah.
Anyway, and then he does the dance and stuff, and he's buzzing with that.
He's fuming, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he's weirdly
'Cause he
fuming
goes
for
in-
some reason.
Because this is the thing what you're going back to. Like, you don't know what, like, if he is gay or he's not gay. Because that scene, like, that guy's going, "Oh, it's okay." And he goes, "Fuck off."
Yeah.
Like, he twats him, doesn't he? But, like, with the other guy, he's, like, different around him, innit?
Yeah, but he seems like he's fuming for no reason in terms of.
He did, like he said, he did do. I thought he, like,
Well, he did well, and then they're being kind of. I mean, it's very again like this fucking weird, like British upper class, like
How do you
Exactly.
feel?
interesting.
What
Yeah,
do you feel
it's-
when you dance, Billy?
What do you feel when you dance? I feel my penis go up.
It's immediately like, yeah, he arrives
I need
there
to
and he's
stop
like,
Fucking weird pedo jokes about little boys.
well, you're just making it about yourself. That's how you feel when you
That's it.
dance.
That's how I feel when I dance. Is
I've
the
seen it.
blood rushes to my.
Everyone clears the dance floor when Ben's there. Just,
Yeah. It's gonna be that huge.
But yeah, again, like when he arrives, it's like,
It's kind of like
Oh.
the British 8 Mile, isn't it?
yeah, I
In
guess,
terms
yeah,
of
yeah.
like fucking, he's like fucking, you know, you can't do this, and then he goes to fucking, and he
Chalk,
smashes it.
Yeah.
and-
chalk, fucking chalk. Go on,
True,
chalk.
but it's the opposite. Where instead of your real name's Clarence, it's like your real name. You're from County Durham, aren't you? If
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
from
yeah.
the slums, where
Yeah.
we're like, I'm a poshety boy.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely.
So- Whereas, like, yeah. But that's the thing is, they immediately go to that stereotype of like, oh, but to show like, oh, he's got it hard. That Jamie Bell has, that Billy.
Mm.
So Yeah. Should we call it a little half an hour break there?
Yeah,
by the
so
way?
let's take a break and then we'll come back with how rating out of 5, bit of
Favourite
trivia, favourite
scene.
performances,
Yes.
scenes, all that kind of stuff.
all that
Not a problem.
sweet shit. We're back.
We're back now.
Billy Elliot.
Yeah.
So back with Billy Elliot. I just wanted to say also before we start on some trivia that it's funny. There's a funny scene at the end where like Billy's family come in, they sit down in this big theatre, and he's in the wings ready to do his stuff, and the gay guy's there.
Yes,
his gay
that
friend.
random guy, innit?
Yeah, but he's with this random black dude. But it's funny because the black dude's kind of looks like a bit like bored. Because if you think about it from his perspective, the guy who he's shagging has been like, do you want to come to this thing that my mate's
I
in?
used to fancy the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
No, pretty much, didn't he? Because
And
he was
now he's
always like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could tell like from his younger character, he was like, oh, like I want Billy.
Yeah.
Like, I wish he was gay because you know what I mean? And but you could tell even with the girl, he's like you could just tell Billy was like, I just want to focus on what I want to do, which is fair enough. And
And
then
then
because he's got that aura, the guy, he's just going like that.
Yeah. Do you know what? To
Just
me,
like
it's
looking
like,
at
looking at what?
he's kind of like because he just goes, you're right, Tony. He goes, Michael. What the fuck are you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah.
And he's just like, I want it misted for the world.
No, it's
He's just
like
Yeah.
it's like if my girlfriend like said to me, come and watch this play that my mate from school's in that I don't know. I've never met this person. They'd be like, he's great, and I'm like, right, okay.
Yeah.
You'd be
So
fuming,
that guy
actually, wouldn't
plays
you?
it well, if anything.
Yeah, I think that's performance.
He
When we
should
come
got a
back to
BAFTA.
it, yeah,
The
he
first
should've
man
got-
with a BAFTA with no lyrics.
Lyrics.
Dialogue.
Daniel Day-Lewis, like, got a lot of lyrics in this film.
God.
Yeah, it is funny that the only black guy in the film is like the gay guy's really gay.
Yeah.
He's got a
Got
big
the
black
hat on.
dude who shags him real good,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what a mad like, and he's got that weird little that facial hair that's just in the crease of his bum chin.
Oh, he's got a little soul
One
patch.
little soul patch, but it's on his chin,
Yeah.
not from here. It's not. This
Oh,
part, it's
right.
here, and I'm like, it is mad that they've chosen. He looks like, do you know, like a model or something. Like,
Yeah.
He has that
Like a fashion type.
fashion type guy, and then the other guy is like he's finally like he's dressing up how he wants to and stuff. He's putting makeup.
He's got cool
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah, exactly, and he's got a mad hat on or something.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
it looks
also
he's
like
got-
pretty surprised that Tony remembers him because like you don't really see any sort. Oh, go on.
Maybe there's a subtext there that he used to get a suck off him. Yeah.
And then his dad's and then he's
That's why Tony was so angry, because he's in this masculine world of like minors and all
Right,
scab.
minors.
But when really,
Scab. Fucking doing man. I've been in a fucking cell all night, and you. But yeah, like you can just tell afterwards, like he's done that, and then his dad's just going like, you know what I'm talking about, and he's like, yes, you bloody well do.
Yeah. You've been bumming Andrew.
Yeah, maybe
You
when
know,
he got
man,
a bit
is he called
older.
Andrew?
You're nothing since Mam left. You must do a useless twat.
Is he called Michael? Isn't it?
Michael.
Michael.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, because he even nudges his dad. He goes,
Andrew's the guy that I used to bum.
but yeah, like there's even a bit where he's just like, oh, when I missed it for the world, and then he looks at his dad, like his son, just go, Michael. Like his dad's gonna go, who that fuck's Michael? Who's the Wayne Sleep? You know what I mean? He's just like, how do you know who he is? You know what I mean?
It is weird. Yeah. It's an odd scene because you're like, it's supposed to tie it all together, but there's more questions.
It's like there's a subtext to it. He's been sucking him off.
I think that he's been sucking him off. Like he's been coming down to London, like and
and a couple of years later, he's like, oh, I remember you used to like my Jamie, didn't you?
Yeah.
My Jamie, my Billy.
My Billy, and then he's like, yeah, but I like your Willie better. No, because Will's short for Bill.
Yeah,
and
it
then-
is,
well,
yeah.
Bill's short for Will.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
so is he actually called Willie Elliot?
William
Well,
Elliot.
he could be called Liam Elliot if you want to do it like that. William.
Willie Elliot.
Willie Elliot.
Willie.
Makes it better.
But yeah, so he goes down. His brother goes down to London. He's like shagging Michael, and then
That's why that guy's
then-
looking at him going, oh, I
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
you leaving this morning. Don't
yeah,
go on like you've just come down to London.
Yeah.
Because it's like that.
You left my hotel.
Yeah, you
and
left my gaff, mate.
The black dude's
In
like, I
Kensington.
recognise this guy.
Oh, do you reckon Billy like prearranged it to be like, I want my dad and my brother, my homophobic, ruthless like fighting violent men to sit next to my gay best mate.
Well, in a way, it's like
maybe Billy wanted him to kick off with him.
Well, I don't know. It's supposed. The reason we're even having this conversation is because it's supposed to be like. By that time, you go, look how accepting they are. Especially in 2000, you're like,
that's true.
Look, he's sitting next to him.
There's even that scene where, do you know where they leave?
Like, do
you know where Billy's leaving with his brother and dad to get the coat? And that, what's he called?
Michael.
Michael, he's on the thing and he goes, oi!
Yeah.
And then he kind of just goes, like, kisses him on the cheek, but like, no reaction. Like, considering how violent his brother is, he just like, it's just like, what's going on?
Yeah, well, his brother in his head's thinking, I'd like a bit of that.
I think so too.
Wait till he's fucking older.
He's like,
I'll go down to London, man.
Billy's not even gay, man.
And you, fucking ballet.
Yeah, it is. Like the reason it's weird is because most of the film they're like, no, and then at the end they're like, yes.
It's like, let's just accept, man. We're all fucking gay.
No.
Yes.
We're all gay.
Like, you know what? I've changed my mind. Hard yes.
So in terms of like, while you look up some interesting trivia, just wanted to go through because Stephen Daldry, is that how you pronounce his name?
So, yeah.
He's a director. Do you want to have a guess? So should we have a look at what he went on to next? Because this one, that's Billy Elliot wasn't. I think Jamie
Bell.
Jamie Bell won the BAFTA for best leading actor.
Wow.
Yeah, one of the youngest ever as well, apparently.
Youngest ever,
which is pretty insane. That,
yeah.
Yeah, well,
a leading role.
Carried the film.
I'm trying to think what was around that time as well.
Well, he was a celebrity for years after that. I say that. I mean, the only other thing that I remember him in is
he was in that transport film, like Back to the
Pelham, taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
no, it was in that.
No, because that's transport. It's about a train, isn't it?
All right.
The transporter with.
It's like Hopper or something. It's like he goes into like the.
You have a look.
Okay.
By the way, before we move on from the scenes, one thing I wanted to mention about the scenes was, do you know that bit where that mad chase because there was a point where I was watching it. He breaks into that house and I'm like, what's he doing?
London calling.
And he's like drinking a brew.
That's one of the funniest bits, mate. I love that because he picks it up perfectly and just goes.
Yeah, but it's also like I was like. They might as well have had as he picks it up like whoa, like just some mad sound effects.
He's meant to care about the community, about the working class community, and he's going in people's gas, smashing the cups and that.
Yeah.
How does he know that was that wasn't their last cup?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
It's it's just that old woman as well. He goes, thanks, Doris. There's also in that sequence he jumps over a guy on a bench. Some guy's working out and he just jumps over him, and it's just like
it's like Ferris. It's like the British Ferris Bueller.
It is
kind
like
of
that. I bet that's what I mean. Is that's the kind of sound effect that should have got happening. Because it suddenly went from like the police are coming to like a silly and then so he comes out. And he stood there, and then suddenly the entire, all the police are waiting for just him.
Yeah, it's not even like 4 or 5 running after him. It's like Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 towers, all the grass is full, and these police going, we're after this one guy. This, you know what I mean? It's like he's not done that.
He's not done that much. What did he throw a banana at him?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and then there's the bit where him and his dad meet, and I'm watching this with my girlfriend. She made a good point about it. So she said, when they start hugging, they start going crying to each other, and they start hugging, and she was like, he wouldn't hug his dad like that. No. If they have such a weird you wouldn't just break down that barrier. It would be awkward. You'd be patting each other on the shoulder or something. It wouldn't be.
It's one of those things where you just go.
Yeah. It's very it's son, and he's being like, and the other guy's just going,
I'm sorry, son.
Yeah, the only bit of good acting, passable acting that the older brother does, I think, is when he's going on the train, he hides this. He does a good job of hiding crying. He's doing this, his mouth's going a bit, and that's the only bit where I'm like, all right, I'm convinced that you're acting there. He's doing that. Yeah, he's doing the Denzel Washington. That thing. Yeah, he's doing a Thierry Henry. Yeah. So go on.
Yep. So back to the
details about the film. So did you find out what else Jamie Bell was in?
It was called Jumper.
Oh yeah, with Hayden Christian, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was about
Anakin
making jumpers.
Yeah. Making knitted jumpers for Christmas. It was
bloody
cold.
Probably would have been, decent, because it's similar to Billy Elliot.
True.
I'm just looking at certain things. What apparently Julie Walters she was meant to appear at the end as well
What do you
in
mean?
the final scene.
Oh,
but
why
she
didn't
wasn't
she?
available for the final
wow.
sequence. I'm trying to think.
She's cleaning her husband's piss up.
Yeah,
She's like, I've dropped
if you
the
want to
X
piss
in
yourself,
there.
it's fine with me.
Yeah.
It's fine. I love it.
I love it.
Oh.
By the way, the next film that he directed was The Hours. Do you not remember that? That was it. Had he's like a psychological drama with Nicole Kidman, Julianne Moore, and Meryl Streep.
Oh.
Shit, big names then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big names. Little film. Yeah, and that was kind of not really. I feel like it's interesting because I feel like his style, the director's style, got found out on this one. Because a lot of the reviews that are slagging The Hours off
Right.
mirror what I think about Billy Elliot.
Okay.
So like,
That's interesting.
so this dude for Time Magazine, he's like watching. So instead of The Hours, I'll replace it with Billy Elliot, right? So it's watching Billy Elliot. One finds oneself focusing excessively on the unfortunate prosthetic nose Kidman effects. No, that doesn't quite work. Nicole Kidman. Basically, yeah. Anyway, foot nose. I can't do it. But basically, Billy Elliot got reviewed really well, and The Hours got panned basically.
And in hindsight, you see.
Well, it didn't get panned. It's got 70% on the fucking thing, but I just hate this cunt.
Yeah.
I just hate.
Fucking fuming, Carl.
I just hate Billy Elliot, man. It's just like there's something about it which.
Yeah, there was a lot of things watching it now as someone who makes videos and shit. I was noticing so many mad things. Like at the beginning, the Michael character. I actually read this. I was like, I'm looking up the trivia because every time he speaks, it's like in the first scene. Do you know when he's near the door and he's swinging the door?
Yeah.
Banging it
As
on,
he's
yeah.
speaking, that is
ADR.
not him speaking. It's
Yeah.
ADR, yeah, 100%. As he's speaking, you're like, that's definitely not
Couldn't
his
do the
voice.
accent or something.
I don't know what it was, yeah, but like then later on, it does seem like he's speaking. But it said Jamie Bell was going through puberty at the time of filming. Some of his dialogue had to be post-synced as his voice had broken. So that means that the high-pitched stuff, they would have been like, no, replace that with this new voice. But with that kid, it's as if they've gone like, yeah, it might have been like the same thing right in that first scene. This other kid, his voice is that high, and then they've gone replace it, and it just looks garbage. Like you notice things like that too easily.
Well, yeah, no, like go on. What are you gonna say?
I think I was done.
No, I was like, because but like I think a lot of films like they have this ADR stuff that you didn't notice on the first time around, but actually had a bit in The Departed, you know. When DiCaprio and he's talking to the psychiatrist, and he's kind of there's some ADR in there, and I watched it. I was like, oh, you can clearly see that DiCaprio. No, was it in that? No, I think it was in Blood Diamond actually. Sorry.
Okay. Blood Diamond.
Anyway,
Jamie Bell took ballet and other dance classes while in secondary school, which caused him to be often to be ridiculed by his peers. He used some of these experiences as inspiration while playing Billy Elliot. So he really would have had the same thing.
Getting ripped in that, and then he's like, won an Oscar, me.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
he didn't win an Oscar, but
you're not winning an Academy Award, no?
No, he won a BAFTA.
Oh, BAFTA, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was thinking in my head like he won an Oscar for that. And I was
I mean that would have been good.
That would have been, yeah.
Oh, so Jamie Bell is the only one of the four principals, as in like the four main actors, to actually come from the area where this movie is set.
Yeah, we said that before, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
So in terms of like best performances and stuff, like I said, probably the black guy at the end is Lover, or you got to go with either Jamie Bell or I like Julia Walters in this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Julia Walters as my favourite performance, just because she's the only one who brings a shade of charm to it. Like she's the only one who it's like, oh, I wouldn't mind having a chat with her or sitting down with it. The rest of them are just fucking
you're like
detestable,
just shouting all the time.
Yeah,
like,
it is. Yeah. But yeah, she's the only one who kind of like understands Billy, I guess, from the get go. But she still has that hit and miss time where they have a few like, you and your blob, like just
Well, it's weird. Weirdly, Billy goes, "Do you fancy me or something?"
Yeah, because she touched his knees. Goes, "I'll be there with you," and it's again, it's just like the writer's going,
shit.
"Let me put 11-year-olds to a 40-year-old woman like, you fucking fancy me or what?"
Because that's almost like his defensiveness towards all that stuff is like that of someone who's had some sort of shit go on to him, and it's like, is that some subtext like Billy was touched too? Yeah, it's like, what is this? Like, why are you including these things in the film? I'll go with Jamie Bell then. What were you gonna say? You were saying Julie Walters as well. Or
No, I'll probably go Gary Lewis. The dad.
Who's that? The dad. The dad.
I think because
he is good. He's
good.
He's quite good at times. Well, he's very bleakly good.
Yeah. He's been in like other big films as well. He is a really good actor. And I think maybe just because of the change of heart at the end, where like he is this father of like you can do as you're told. Like you live in this society of like not being a ballet dancer. Like you box like my dad boxed, like I boxed. Because it's like the boxing gloves. He's like my dad got me those, so look after them. Like when he's trying to put the ballet shoes under the mattress, and I just think like he changes like.
It's weird. I think like it's interesting, isn't it, that I suppose in reality you would think that if you lost your partner and you had to look after your kid by yourself, that you would be
like your anger
nicer.
Just like you would be nicer, but it's just that anger of like I've lost my wife now. Like, and there's I think near the end, like to get the money together, he pawns all the stuff.
Yeah, he does. He pawns all her jewelry and stuff.
And he's just like, this is how much I want my son to succeed now.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, like I'm behind him no matter what. Kind of thing.
Do you think guys like that like ever had a wank? Like
when he's that angry, if he would have just gone upstairs and just.
Well, no, just like.
Yes, you bloody will.
Yeah, but just like in terms of, because he seems like gutted that his wife's gone. Emotionally, maybe that maybe she used to,
She seemed nice because you do see her in once. You don't see her. But
well, yeah, she appears as like a
when
ghost.
he's having the milk, she's like, put it back.
She's like, put it back.
It's on the milk.
What's
he's
that?
on the milk. He said it like it's drugs.
Yeah,
when he's on the milk.
You know when he's on the milk at the fridge in the morning when he's wide out of his nut and he's got a fucking cup on top of the fridge, like use the cup, not the bottle.
But
seems nice.
She's
Looks pretty
nice.
decent as well.
So you think that if he would have just had a little wank?
I was like, what a mumsy.
I just think that like I'm just thinking because like why is it he's just fuming all the time? And
so much anger.
It's like, mate, like and even the mines. It's funny because I watched something recently on that whole thing, about the famous thing where all the policemen attacked the miners in the mid-80s, and there was like a concerted effort by the government to send more police than they should have to antagonise the situation or whatever. And there's obviously loads of arguments both sides, but a lot of the miners that were interviewed said that they used to buzz off that job. Like it was a sick job. Right. Like you'd go down there with all your boys and that, and you'd fucking do this job, like going like down into the earth, like fucking on this, and have these sick tools and shit. And there used to be a camaraderie between them, and like they were powering the country and stuff like that. And it's funny because the analogy of like the working class were like the root in the ground that helped the flower of the British society to be so opulent or whatever. So it's like the British people are literally like the working class are literally going underground, getting this fuel, this what do they call it, black gold,
right?
And then like fucking they used to take it out, and it's interesting because they frame it as like we're going back in, like as in like as if they're all gutted and they're all silent, aren't they, going down? And I feel like
I was like,
I feel like nah, aren't you buzzing that you got your job?
Your
job
back? Shit, it was filmed in a mine town, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Lexington or something.
Yeah, that is another mixed message in it. Is it like if they want the jobs back? I guess someone could review what we're saying now as like, no, they had no option. Like they do want the job back, but it's still bleak. But it's like we're saying for an entertainment part, you're like, God, this is bleak like that, and it's like, and if the only thing, it's almost like silly that Billy's just dancing his like the troubles away. It's a bit like. It is weird that it's like such a.
But obviously,
thing.
like mid '80s, you've got like Mackey's, McDonald's, like booming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go and get a job at Mackey's.
Yeah.
I found the film quite funny because maybe because I grew up in like a similar household a bit.
Yeah, listen, I said this to you. This is like a parallel to your life that you wanted to be a comedian. Your brother going, forget it, you're staying here. You're staying in. You're looking after mum. Like mum's sound. Mum's fucking 50. Do you know what I mean? She can still walk.
Stop doing everything in slow motion, you Nancy boy.
But it's like, maybe because I grew up in that household, I find the humour from it.
Yeah.
When I'm like, like when he's always shouting and everything's kicking off, I'm just like, yeah, that's normal to me now. Cause it's just like, I didn't sleep on Thursdays.
No, I think also I feel like you
Funny, is it?
Just on Thursdays this year.
As soon as you wake up on Thursday, you're not going back to sleep till Friday night. No. So, God. But go on, yeah, sorry, Ben.
you know, you like kind of anger in films, like you think it's funny, which is hilarious. Like you, because with Whiplash, with J.K. Simmons' character, he's being like proper ruthless, and you're like,
yeah, I'm literally
going, yeah,
babe. And then even my wife was going, I need like this character.
yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'd see the humour from it.
No, buzzing. So
Favorite scene?
favorite.
Oh, sorry. So to confirm, your performance is Julia Walters.
Yeah.
Oh, the black guy at the end.
Yeah.
Mine's just gonna go with Billy Elliot because for
No
me,
lyrics.
Really, yeah, he really carries it. He's like
Yeah, sorry, you
singing
did,
and dancing. Well, he's not singing, but he's dancing and acting, and I'm convinced he is. I'm like, yes, you are this kid. Throughout the entire film, I'm like, that's Billy Elliot. I'm not like, oh, that's a kid playing this character.
No, yeah. To
You
be
know what I
fair, yeah, Jane Bell was like he carried the film, didn't he? Basically,
100%. I think so.
because he's never like properly gutted, and he's got a bit of charm to him as well. Like you know, and even though he's like he doesn't reveal his cards too much in terms of like.
True.
What do you think about what he says at the end to the guy when the guy asks him what dancing feels like, and he goes, it's like I'm flying. It's like electricity in my body.
Right.
Yeah.
I was watching that going, yeah. I just picture his brother coming in going, shut up!
yeah.
Yeah,
it is a bit corny, isn't it? Because
it's the song as well.
I almost feel like it was. I definitely was watching that scene, and I know which one you're on about, and I'm reminded of it. But it was kind of not. It wasn't this pivotal scene. It's kind of forgettable in a way. It's like not this like, whoa, he's really saying how he's like opening up. It's just like, it's almost like he's like flying. Is that what you want to hear? Yeah.
Mentioning that, like, what's your standout scene? If you've got one.
Yeah, so I think I did say it before. I think it would be between when he starts breakdancing into in his dad's face.
Yeah.
Or I like the scene where that little boy gets dressed up in a dress.
Yeah.
That's what like I love that scene.
How come though?
Because
is it where he opens the door and he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it looks good.
Come in.
Looks
so
great.
Confident, like, yeah.
No, I'm joking. No, I don't know. Yeah, probably either that scene. I kind of do like the scene where he's like dancing into walls and stuff, and then it's like
a montage. Yeah,
I love a good montage.
There is a good little bit where he's dancing and then he goes to this wall and then he like leans against the wall and he's like, and then you see like fake snow come in, and I was like, that's fake snow, but what are we gonna do? And then when he starts moving, it's like the whole place is snow, and the two shots are like. And I was like, okay, fair enough. That's not bad. But not as if I'm like, fucking, I know what you shot. But it's just one of the ones where you're like, oh, I see what you've tried to do there, kind of thing. Maybe mine is like when he first is getting into the ballet. It's the only bit for me where it's like, oh, they're accepting him. There's this moment of like, I remember feeling like, oh, it's nice that Julie Walters isn't like, but you're a boy. Or like, if you're going to be in, she's just like, come on then.
Shoes back.
Yeah, exactly. And just
like
treating him. And he's like dancing, and then it's that montage of him knowing what he's doing. It's the only part for me where I'm like, yeah, go on, Billy.
Yeah, I wanted to see more, again, like if I could restructure the film, like, like it's a bit like with 8 Mile, it's like I wanted more of him showing his genius. I wanted more scenes of him like doing sick dancing and that, and like people going, what, he's a genius. Because
like in the town,
in the town, like I wanted to see like more and more people like, because there's that one scene where he does it, and then he does it in front of the Royal Ballet people, and that's the only time you ever see him like properly, smash it with the dancing. Yeah. And I wanted to see more of that.
Yeah, I guess you do need to see a bit of the film where it's the rise of someone with a talent. You do need like that. People going like, oh, I see why. Otherwise, at the end, you're like, is he even that good?
Yeah,
there was a feeling of like, is he that good? He's this protege that's like amazing, but is he?
Yeah. But I think I reckon at the time, like my elders, like the people who were buzzing off it, like I said, my auntie, my grandma, mum and that. Because I remember them having this tape, like, and whenever I used to go around to my grandma's, I used to like watch like a film or whatever, and she used to have like 4 films.
Yeah.
Fucking Billy Elliot, ER. Season 4 or whatever, right? ER, right? Because she was a nurse. She used to fucking love that. And then Titanic, I think, and something mad like fucking
Perfect
Angela's
Storm.
Ashes or something like that, like something bleak.
Angela's Ashes was
Something as well.
Good night, Mr. Tom.
Yeah, she did have Good Night, Mr. Tom.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Yeah,
Really
which I
cry
actually
my
used
eyes
to.
out as a
Well,
kid.
that I used to enjoy a little bit. That's what I mean. Like Billy Elliot's exactly the same school as Good Night, Mr. Tom, Vera Drake, all these fucking like it's bleak up here.
Yeah, it is. And I guess for them, it's like, whoa, they're portraying it.
Yeah.
Like that. And they're like, oh, they've almost got it as bleak as it was.
Well, there was this working class trend, I think, in the mid-90s through to the maybe mid-noughties of like, you know, Oasis, fucking, you know, all the comedians were like working class, Peter Kay and all this. This is England, yeah. And yeah, I feel like Billy Elliot was just part of that fucking, you know, part of that movement. And then it moved on to like, you know, because it was like white working class.
Yeah.
Like that's what they wanted to represent. But then it moved on from that to like gender stuff and gay
Top
stuff
Boy,
and
like
black stuff.
and stuff, yeah. And also, what I do actually like, what they do a lot now, there's a show called End of the Fucking World on Netflix. And there's like that sex education show. And what I've noticed with both of those is they do this like ambiguous American England place where it's set in England, but it's in a place where you're like, where is this?
Yeah,
like,
where is this?
But it's also like they're all kind of Americanized. And I'm like, that's cool because they're not going, oh, England's like, they're not going, they're just like, this is the location and it happens to be England. It's not like this is England. This is England. Yeah. There's not, Stephen Graham's not going sick in a corner shop.
Not being racist.
Pulling out my shit.
Yeah, so, what would you rate it out of 5 stars?
Don't ask me my favourite.
Carl,
we'll go with Carl.
Oh, yeah, sorry, what's your favourite scene?
I don't know, really. Because I don't want to pick, like...
No, we'll move on,
man.
man.
There's a similar one. Like, maybe the one where his dad's going back to the coal, like the mine, sorry. And his son's running after him. I know it's a bit, like, corny in it and stuff, but...
His son's what?
Do you know when he's on the bus?
Yeah.
And he sees his dad on the bus?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, what the fuck's he doing?
Oh, right. What?
And he like runs after. He's like, Dad!
Oh, what? And he climbs over the fence. And he's like,
he
what are you
runs after.
doing, Dad?
Yeah, he's like, you can't go back now after all we've done.
Yeah.
It's a bit like...
He's okay. He's okay.
What the fuck is he doing here, Tony? He's going to be okay. I'm sorry, son.
I'm sorry, son. I just wanted some money.
Just give the boy a fucking chance.
Yeah.
Maybe just because you see the... Like,
that's what you wanted your dad to do to you.
I just want my dad to be there, you know.
So do we.
Do you know when you go to bed and the light's still on? It just kept on in my head. You know, you see in films where they open the door and they go,
switch the light off, pull the covers over you a little bit.
We had...
You're just there with the covers
We just had... Yeah.
Waiting for Daddy to pull them up.
Have you got that pack of cigarettes yet?
We had such high energy bills because the lights never switched off. No, but it's kind of nice just to see, like, you can tell he's like an angry guy throughout the film, innit? But that he shows that side of him where he's like...
High energy bill.
Yeah, sounds like game we're going to do soon.
Fucking Eon!
Is that, you talking about Billy Elliot?
Yeah, Billy
Energy
Elliot,
bill.
But, like, yeah, it's nice to see him, like, actually caring it.
Yeah, no.
He's like, no, like he says, I want to give the boy a chance. If this means going back to this,
right, yeah,
I'll do it.
That's the moment in the film where it's suddenly like, oh, his dad really is like, all right, I'll do this job that I've gone against. I'll pawn all my stuff, and it's like around that. That's the turning point, I suppose.
I think it even starts the turning point mainly for his dad. It's like, do you know when Julia Walters comes around to the house? Like Billy missed a very important audition. Like he doesn't actually speak through that scene. He just sits there and like even when he puts him on the desk, on the table. He's like, dance, you little twat.
Oh, yeah, that is
and
a
he's
mad
not
bit.
just looking at him going, all right, then.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see it. Like, is it that important?
Yeah, right.
And I think that's the turning point where you see him think, and after when he's breakdancing in front of his face, he runs to Julia's house, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's like, go home, son. And he just comes in, he's like, how much is it going to cost? Because Karl Porter's energy bills are fucking... His dad didn't fucking switch the light off.
Would you be a scab, do you think, or would you be against it?
I'll be a dancer, mate.
What?
I'll be a dancer.
No, I'm asking you, would you be one of the miners who went into work when all your colleagues are striking?
I'd go into work, mate.
yeah. I think that. I think.
Yeah, because it's
I
like I
think-
can't be asked fucking standing on roads early in the morning just
Yeah.
going scab, scab,
Yeah,
scab,
yeah.
scab,
Yeah.
chucking eggs and shit. It's
Can't
like
be
you're
arsed.
spending money on eggs.
Yeah.
What did today, Carl? Everybody shout scab, scab, scab.
Like getting ready in the
I
morning,
can't
like
be
just
arsed.
putting jump on, going go back to sleep. Gotta fucking go and chuck eggs at this fucking dad's on the bus, man. Nah, man.
Yeah, my
it
dad's
not
on
my
a
dad?
fucking buzz, man.
I've got to go and fucking chuck eggs at my dad. Right, so we're going to rate it here because we're on 29 minutes.
I give it
Go on, Carl.
between a 2 and a 3.
Right.
I'd probably give it a 2.
Nah.
High 2.
Right, you're going to give it a 2.
I think a 3's too much because it's not like a film where I'd
When's the last time you watched it out of pleasure?
today.
No, but I mean, yeah. So you never.
Probably.
So when you watched it when you were a kid, like in what context are you watching it? In terms of like, you watch it because your mum's put it on, or
maybe
'cause
just
on
like
TV?
Red wants to watch it.
Oh, Red
wife.
likes it.
She likes it, yeah.
Right.
'Cause she likes Julie Walters, and it's just kind of
Right.
like, oh, it's it's one of those.
It's a heartfelt.
It's one of those like Sunday films, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'll just
Yeah.
whack Billy Elliot on it.
Was she crying?
I don't think she cries at it
Right.
because it's not that. Like she's not that. Like
She's not a
connected to
dancer.
it where there's like Titanic. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
not. If she's dancing, I'll just be like, did you miss your audition? But I'd probably give it a 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, let's define what a 1 is. Let's find out. Let's see what the
Yeah,
bar
yeah.
is. Because a
One's
5,
4.
right? A 5 is like a film that I've watched a bunch of times. Oh, it's a new film, and I'm blown. I cannot believe
Yeah,
it
yeah.
that
Like
that
I
film
wouldn't
is.
watch it. Like
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
watch it for the sake of it. I wouldn't just be sat there on my own going, "Did I watch Billy Elliot or The Departed?"
Yeah, exactly. And
Do you know what I mean?
like, what
Like-
did you say it was? 3, 2.
2.
No, I gave it.
Give it
I just
2.
thought a 3's too much.
Exactly. So
I'll kindly give it a 2.
if it was something that you watch repeatedly, you could even go to 3. If it's something like where you're like, it's such a good film though, 4.
Yeah.
When it's like, oh my god, all the elements, 5. A
Yeah.
1. What are we saying with a 1? Because a 1 to me is like,
you accidentally put it on, and you're like, oh.
yeah, or even
Yeah.
I'm texting you going, guys, I cannot finish this film. Is that a 1?
Yeah.
Because this to me is like, I was really being like, come on, give me something that I'm going to enjoy.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
I want to be able to come here and go, these are some good things. But my fear was that I was going to do what I've done and be like, it's fucking stupid. So, which I don't think it is completely stupid. It's just a hard watch, I think, 24 years later.
Yeah. I've got to go with a 1
Yeah.
because if you're giving it a 2 and you find it hilarious,
Yeah, exactly. If
I-
you're giving it a 2, then it's got to be a 1.
2 because again, I'm being kind, and I'm
Yeah,
also
yeah.
I do find humor from
Yeah.
like
Some of the bits.
yeah, similar.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
so that-
Yeah, no, I'm gonna
Okay.
give it a 1 just because I hate my grandma. No, but like I just feel like I can't be arsed with it. It's fucking bleak and Billy Elliot.
1 is how many marbles your bloody grandma's got.
And do you know what? I'm doing it as what? Yeah. Now she's like that. I can't believe Ben doesn't like Billy Elliot. That's my last marble gone.
waking up in the night. It's me.
But I'm gonna give it a 1, right? As like a fuck you to British culture and the culture that like fetishizes
Yes.
working class.
The Anglophiles, they're like, oh, it's in it good, this mad British.
In it good like Britain when it's dead dreary and
Yeah.
fucking like, it's like no like
it isn't.
Yeah.
fucking do a film like something else like Guy Ritchie, for example. Guy Ritchie brought out and I know Guy Ritchie's like fucking because you're a guy, because you're a lad, you like Guy Ritchie, but it's like if you look at like how energetic and enjoyable
Exactly.
those
And there's fun characters.
fun,
Yeah.
but obviously I know Guy Ritchie can't do emotional, heartfelt dramas, or like
But there is
wholesome
other
family
ones.
dramas.
There's like rom-coms and shit, like Notting Hill. You watch it and you're like, yes, this is all like, remember Mickey Blue Eyes with Hugh Grant?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
like, they're British films and they have a feel good, like, oh, is this England? Oh, look, it's that place in London, or oh, that's nice. And I know this isn't supposed to be an uplift. Well, it is in a way, and they have to do the contrast of bleak and like amazing or whatever. But I feel like it was very much, that's the best word for it, is fetishizing this like, oh, in it hard, in working class England.
Let's
kind
moan
of
about
thing.
everything and
Whereas-
take it out on our kids.
Yeah, there's probably a couple of films, and we're going to watch them, of newer films where they do the working class English thing, but with a more like, worse, we can watch it being like, okay, that's a bit more.
And also, it's like there's this notion of like, if you're a genius, you can come up and chill with us in the upper classes and be a
100%.
dancer. But if you're not a genius, get fucked.
Yeah, you're stuck.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get you out of there.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
you've
a
got
very
a spark. You're a Gene Kelly.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
guys get back to the fucking mine.
Yeah, get down to the mine.
And
So
you
yeah,
piss yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're giving it a 1. You're giving it a 1. You're giving it a 2.
The lowest rated film yet.
Yeah.
Lowest rated film yet.
The reason we got on this is we're trying to figure out what to do. We're trying to go with we won't just pick our favorites. I'm look at the first page of Netflix and I'm listing the 5 films that come out, and we're like, yeah, let's do. We'll do those ones every once in a while because it's good to be like, how mad was that film? So, but yeah, lowest rated one so far.
But that's what we thought about Billy Elliot. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back.
That's Silver Screentime. Tune in next episode. We're going to be talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Quentin Tarantino, big film. Like, subscribe. I've been Karl Porter.
I've been Ben Silver.
Phill Sutton.